Part two zombies. How we doing? It's what the hell time is it again? It's 1:13 in the morning. Okay, a.m. 23rd of August 2023 for a Friday. The Weaver Agency, Roseman, California. There's a zombie out here. Huh? Anyway, last thing I was talking about in my part one video was my class and why I was taking more time on this one instead of dealing with politics like I was blathering like crazy in the first video. So, regarding the class I'm taking right now is Women in History. From the colonial all the way to the present. Well, up to a certain time limit anyway. So now I'm dealing with articles and how I'm supposed to feel about women in history, and we're taking it section by section on this one. Certain questions are coming up in the discussions, and we have to look at an article and judge it. Said before with my own my trepidations on the thing, my own observations of the thing, and unwillingness sometimes. Yes. I don't like dealing with one particular article. I want to get many. It's a funny thing. Sorry if I keep picking up my ears. It's crazy. Um, when I did reports in school, we did book reports basically, K through 12, especially when you got into junior high and high school. I mean, K through 6, we did textbook. When it came down for junior high, we had to tear apart maybe a book or two to support something. We're lucky enough to get two books. One book, which should have been it. Pick a book, tear it apart, do a book report on it, just analyze the thing. Compare, contrast. Simplest things to compare and contrast. An argument to be set. You get into high school, now you need to get into maybe one or two more books to substantiate it. But if it's just one book, then you tear the damn thing apart. In college, different story altogether. When I got into college, we got a topic, and then we had to find different viewpoints of it. So we get a little bit of a rounded view. Unless, of course, we're going to be doing an argument in class, and therefore we had to research like crazy, which meant we need an army of sources to look at, read, comment, tag it up as bibliography. Now, they may change the formats on how they're doing college papers, but it's still the same thing. If you're going to talk about a topic, get your resources, get your three or four at least topics or research areas, research material, basically, to substantiate your argument. Get quotes from this stuff. Challenges when you're doing it online, though, especially when you have an instructor that's saying that we need to do on these specific ones. And I'm thinking, we're doing book reports. I was taught in the other classes earlier on before I got this online class I'm doing, History and Women. Women in History, actually. I was told in the other history classes and other uh, liberal arts study classes, we get multiples. Why is it stuck with one? Okay, so I got it. I got legits. I could trust two or three, pull quotes off of them, put them in the site's works site, throw it out there. But also, if I wanted to do that, I wanted to put it into a more personal context. We're dealing with women in history. We're dealing with women who have been basically subjugated under the male chauvinistic, egotistical megalomania, thinking they rule the world, and women don't. They're just there. In some cultures, they're treated as goddesses. In other cultures, throughout time, they're just treated differently. And a lot worse because they don't have a say. They don't have the right to say. They will do what the male says because we say so, because we're egomaniacs. We say so. That's how it goes. I'm not going to say even worse than that because I don't want to insult everybody else, or anybody else for that matter. But if I'm going to be doing insulting at this point over here, I'm opening up a Pandora's box here. Oh, Pandora would have been a female, wouldn't she? Theoretically, in Greek mythology, if memory serves, she was one of the first creations of Zeus, a woman and first woman. Only Pandora had to be curious about the damn box that was thrusted upon her by Zeus and said, I'm entrusting you to keep this damn thing closed. Don't open it. What she does, she opens it, but closes it real fast to leave hope inside, but every other kind of ill will and ugly thing came out. So now we get to blame women for everything, huh? I mean, there's the racist, sexist, chauvinistic joke right there. We blame women for everything. And thus feed the male ego, megalomania, and we say woman's to blame and male is king and ruler. Deal with that one. Look how much our world's screwed up already. I was raised by a woman. I was raised by women. I had a big brother for a male, but I had a mother, and I had a grandmother, and I had aunts. But I also had male uncles out there I also respected too. I also had a surrogate mother, a family friend that I cared a great deal about. I still do. God rest her soul. God bless her soul and her families. Uh, I had a lot of respect for her. I had a lot of respect. When she passed away, it broke my heart. As heavy as breaking my mama's when she died. I lost both ladies. It seems like part of my life just went. Ugh. Let's just say I've never recovered. I haven't recovered. Death and me don't mix very well. If you notice the channel that I have, Diary of a Griever named John Weaver, I deal with this. I talk about it. I talk about other things on my channel. I talk about mourning and grieving and how I'm still trying to deal with things on a daily basis. Sometimes minute by minute. Other times I'm trying to talk about other things that matters to me, including history, including going through a history class online at a college that I'm still going there for the past several years. Eventually I'm going to graduate. Until that happens, I'm dealing with what I've got. And what I'm dealing with, what I got, is an online class dealing with women in history with a perspective I'm trying to understand more and more about. Yes, I grew up under a culture of women. I grew up under what stories my mother had, and I wish to God I was mature enough to hear any stories coming out of Grandma. But she was telling Ma the stories, and then she was telling the stories to David. And then I barely got her through shorthand. I'm like, shit, I wish I was there to hear it. If there was a tape recorder, I would love to hear the tapings of it, if there was any. Coming from both Ma and Grandma, it would have been fascinating at my age right now. Because I would be holding on to things that matter the most. But because of that, because of the culture I was influenced under, Ma was the head of the house, and we didn't have a father figure. No, not in our household. Long stories in the videos. Have fun digging them out. Use a steam shovel. And I see the women trying to getting crap so much from the male side, especially when it comes down for politics. Family values are supposed to be, and even when they show the family values, it's still looked and frowned upon because some people are just not family. They're just not with family, understanding what it is to be part of a family, understanding what that kind of perspective is. How's a woman supposed to be dealing with a male chauvinistic, egotistical, maniacal world? How's she supposed to deal with her rights if they keep getting thrusted upon because the male ego has to be fed upon things? I mean, he has to be the top dog at everything, and therefore he's fighting everybody. He's the alpha in the family, so he's got to be going head to head. And sometimes head to heads butt heads, and sometimes they go out for drinks, so to speak. But women can have social gatherings and chat away and try to tell people what they think. And when they try to tell the outside people, oh my God, what are you thinking? What are you saying, women? You can't say that. It's against our code. It's against fill in the blank on that one. So this is the kind of thing we're dealing with. We're dealing with women who are fighting against that theoretical glass ceiling. And once they break the thing, they're thinking to go higher and higher. No. You're kidding? There's going to be another glass ceiling. Why? Because the male ego will not have it. It wants control. Ego wants. I don't think they ever said that thing in their reports. I think I already mentioned that one there. Ego wants. Therefore, your stuff is irrelevant. Male chauvinism will dominate everything because it's there. Cue maniacal laughter at this point. I can't tell you how many times I kept saying this thing on a constant basis, even in our history books. Information about women are coming out slowly but surely, but they're coming out in different reports, and different manuscripts, and um, different items. They're trying to understand the culture of women at this point. What did they go through? Why did they go through this damn thing? And part of the legends and things we're reading, women are supposed to be the mothers. They are supposed to be the nurturers. They're supposed to be also gatherers, but also a glue and a linchpin in the mechanism of a family. Mom is supposed to be the domestic. They're not the alpha. Unless, of course, they are called upon to be the alpha. Necessary to take over things whenever the male can't. They are the child bearers. They bear children. And sometimes the way they're bearing children are more problematic because of the male ego at work. The male drives. And then we put restrictions on them. Try to cover up our own damn mistakes. So yeah, I got an issue on that one there too. We put women in power, but we can't stand it because they're in power, they're in charge. How dare they? We're the males, we're supposed to be dominated. If we're not dominating, we're not men, we're not manly enough, we are not masculine, we are neutral. Oh my God, we're so neutral about things. We're so feminine. How dare we be feminine? And with the male masculinity in our heads rolling, just having a field day over this damn stuff. We're looking at how the male are changing, trying to be a little bit more concerned, more emotional. We're supposed to be robots. We can't do anything wrong. We're robots. Big boys are not supposed to cry. Big boys are not supposed to do things. They can't play these girly games. Hell, they're not supposed to clean up house. They're supposed to destroy a house. Let the women clean up after us. That's their job, not ours. I could tell you, being a bachelor at this point, it sucks being a bachelor. It does. Because I had to be responsible to keep this place cleaned and processed and ready to go. I'm dealing with bug war on a constant basis. Deal with that shit. I got a dog that likes to pee on the damn floor. I had to get pads for that. I got to get my machines working so I can vacuum stuff up and then get carpet cleaners working so I can clean up the carpet. Maybe alleviate some of the stains and the smells. I have to have spray out here to spray things, because if I happen to close everything else up, I'm going to smell my dog one way or another. I have to have the smells to eliminate the smells. Keep the windows open. Well, there goes the cold air during the daytime, and now I'm wasting more power for that one. It's a constant thing here. I mean, it's one thing after another being a domestic. And I have to keep a kitchen cleaned up enough to work in. to show people I'm working in it. Well, I got my kitchenette cleaned up. I've got water bottles already filled, ready to go, just in case we get into an earthquake situation. Every time there's going to be a milk bottle used up, I got to wash the thing out and use it because I want storage. I want something for it. You talk about being domesticated. I have to learn how to cook for myself since I was a kid. I had to. I wanted to eat, didn't I? Mom was fixing stuff, and sometimes you had to gag it. Well, let's see, you tried eating boiled canned spinach and having mayonnaise or milk roll up on this thing with an egg on top of it. That's supposed to be yummy. Johnny, look how yummy this stuff is. I'm like, you don't want to throw up. Johnny, you eat this thing, otherwise you're not leaving the table. Here's Brussels sprouts for you. Here's broccoli for you. Here's cauliflower. They're yummy. There's cabbage. There's pack. If it wasn't burger, if it wasn't fries, if it wasn't a Coke, it wasn't food. If it wasn't a pizza, it wasn't food. If it wasn't a chili dog, it wasn't food. I'm discovering my adult late age on how to eat cabbage. Even when I happen to get the packaged stuff, I can actually honestly use it for a salad if I mix it in with lettuce. It's crunchy enough. Put it on a hamburger. It's crunchy enough. I can eat it that way. Or throw it in with other vegetables. Season it up with maybe a bit of soy sauce and some ramen noodles. I can eat the stuff, even with chicken on it. I can do stuff with that. I can fry it up with onions. Put other things into it to make it more palatable. As an adult, but as a kid, forget it. But my mother and my grandmother would insist. Did the male ego have a problem with this one? Yeah, my taste buds there, and so did my stomach. But how would I like to be under management by women? The male ego can't handle it. Why? Because it's mama. Clarification. I had jobs that I actually had women who were supervisors. I had long-term and short-term places where women were in charge. Did I scoff? No, it was a paycheck. That's all I looked at. It was a damn paycheck. You go in, do your job, do the best you can, get the paycheck, get the hell out. See you tomorrow. So I didn't have a problem with that. If it was work, it was a paycheck. If it was a classroom, she's a teacher, learn stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Have fun with it. I didn't have fun with a kid. As an adult, I learned how to kick myself and kill myself in jobs. Just to get the paycheck. Didn't matter who the hell was signing the checks. Give me the damn check. I'm okay. I'm still trying to do the job. So I didn't have that sexist attitude there. I didn't have the chauvinistic attitude saying, the women are in charge. Hell, I had a woman in charge. It was my mother. Paying rent to her. So I lived under her roof. I lived under her rules. Okay, I'm domesticated. So what? I still know how to do a vacuum cleaner. I still know how to dust and vacuum and clean things up if I had to. I know how to shop for myself and clean for myself if I had to. Even take showers. Oh my God, I can take showers? I can even do laundry. Well, I've been doing laundry for male and females' clothes. What the hell? And my dog right now is a female, an old lady, and I'm trying to deal with her as best as I can. I'm waiting for her to crawl on out and whine because I'm up and I'm not there with her. And believe it or not, I miss my family a great deal. I do talk about my family a great deal on my channel. So when I took this class, I was trying to find out challenge at this point. So yes, there is information that I've already gone over in general, but specific information that helps me out, especially when I'm trying to write essays and stuff. So yes, I got an essay that's in the discussions that I need to redraft, go over the material one more time, and then let's see if I can get this ironed out. With or without the damn replies. So, screw it. But this is what I had to say. I wasn't paying attention that there may be a first black lady coming into the office of the presidency of the United States. I wasn't focusing on that because I couldn't stand the double standards happening these days. It's just I was getting overwhelmed and sick and tired of it all. That's why I stayed off the national news and kept on the local news. Because the local news we're still being kicked ass on crime. We're being kicked on robberies. We're seeing homeless people getting kicked around left and right. Yeah, it pisses me off on that one. If that wasn't going to drive me crazy enough, as it is, as I said before, I'm in college, taking on a online course regarding women in history. Okay, what else is new? You tell me about this one. Both know. With that, I'll probably go to bed in about an hour or less.